Hey guys, welcome back to some more AFK Arena. Today we're back over on a test account and we're looking at the event that is currently up and hoping that, fingers crossed, something has changed with this event. So it is the Celestial Isle. Now this is actually one that we have done quite a few times before. When this was released, it is a very, very heavy loot event, as you'll see right here. So you go through, you pick your rewards. Now this is huge. Now looking at here, it looks like we're pretty limited to our loot. But when you look and you break down it kind of mathematically, what is going to be the most expensive thing when you're going through this game mode? Because looking at Poke Coins, looking at Primordial and our amplifying emblems right here, you get those on a very regular basis. The rare stones as well as the shards, again, you can get most of those with gold. You can get them out of the shop. So even looking at this build out, I would do the baits because of course, building the beast up to that resonating level 12 or even higher makes a really big difference. And baits are pretty hard to come by. Now, in addition, with the addition and the upgrade to the plus 40 signature items, red chests are such in a huge high demand, even higher than kind of engraving mats right now, depending on who you're building, depending on what they need. Now for the third one in here, if you are earlier game, the essence is actually pretty good, especially if you're looking to level up early game. But when you start getting to later game, it is the twisted essence that will make a really big difference when you're building out this elder tree. It does make a big difference. So these are the three that I would go ahead and save in here. And these are the three that I would go ahead and build out and really develop. Now, the key acquisition, this is the daily chest. So we have seen this before. You can either one, buy them in the event deals, which some of the beginner packages do come with a pretty good value. But the way that we get these are the daily quest chests. So you're going to get keys out of here, which looking at the daily quest, you can see we get 6. Usually it's 6 in either one. So we get 30 keys on a day. Now, regularly or historically, as we have been doing the Celestial Isles, usually it's about mid to late 20s that you get, some early 30s, depending on how many keys. Now, in addition, looking in here, there is a path to riches. I have not seen this before, but you can see they're just adding more loot in here. So not only are you getting the drawn loot, but you can see you can go ahead and collect some loot. And of course, if you're buying out your emblems, so if you're buying those out through the event deals, they're probably going to give you the ability to get essentially more loot on top of loot. Now, these ones are just all keys. So I'm not sure if with the pulls, if we're going to get some of the road to riches, if that is just going to be essentially the path to riches, just going to be extra loot that we're pulling out of here, because we do pull ancient rune stones. Now, those ancient rune stones, essentially, you're giving keys, which are right here, for the ancient rune stones. The ancient rune stones are going to be used in that exchange store. Now, with the loot, the way to do this, every 10 floors is the mega loot or the big loot or the big pull. So looking at floor 10 rewards, kind of wanted to see what we have here. We have some more baits. It looks like we have some additional red chests right here. So it looks like, and a lot of players were questioning if they were going to give us the ability to get the new epic emblem chest, which it does not look like it. So overall, we have baits, we have cores, we have red chests, and we have Stargazer scrolls. Then we have common and faction scrolls. We have the primordial, the amplifying, the twisted essence right there. Overall, looking at the build, when you get to 10 floors, I would probably, depending on what you need, if you need baits, cores, or red chests, I would definitely pick 2 of the 3 of those, but I would pick up the Stargazer scrolls. And because you figure every time you're getting those Stargazer scrolls, that's roughly what, 1,500 diamonds based on pulls, which is a pretty good return. If there wasn't cards, if it was 1,500 diamonds, that would make a big difference, especially because every 10 floors you can pull this. But overall, when you look, pay attention to what your account needs within here and what you do want to build out. And again, if you have those beasts below 12, I would probably do beasts before I would go in and do the cores or the red chest, just because again, beasts have a really big impact in here, but the red chest and the cores will always have a very, very big part. So let's take a look at the exchange store. Now, again, this is something that we wanted to talk about. Was one, did they have a copy of Eugene that we're required to get out of here? Now, for a majority of players, we've been building Eugene out of the guild store. We've got him in a couple different events, but it does not look like Eugene is in here, which is going to be awesome. So we have our red chest right in here, which we historically see. We have our cores. We do have legendary bizarre totem cards. Now, this I do not recommend for the fact that it is a random card, meaning that there are a lot of legendary cards that are not going to have much of a benefit. You could get lucky, you could pull one, but even looking at the sheer cost of them, I mean, when you're looking, you can get 300 cores, which of course is going to be a guaranteed to build your heroes, or even looking here at our baits, you could get another 150 baits out of here. You could get some red chests versus this one, which of course you can only get one of them. But overall, you could spend your resources. You could get one of those cards. It could be an absolute crappy mythic totem, meaning it's just going to go in the garbage anyways when you do your first run. And also with this game mode, because there is a very heavy RNG factor to it, I wouldn't choose it out here. But I didn't see, and maybe I missed it, but I did not see staffs in here. So I do not see the arcane staffs. And wait a minute, did they change this up? They did not. Look at the unfavorable heroes that we have in here. So we have Flora, and now Flora is the same cost as we're seeing the rest of these heroes. So the twins, of course, seeing a little bit of utility. Vathiel seeing again a little bit of utility, not as much as we've seen in the past. When you look at Leofric and when you look at Frampton, not building either of those. They just changed the order of these. Traditionally or historically, Wukong and Flora was always cheaper. They were actually run, which they're all the same cost. No, these are 450. Wait a minute. Is there something I'm missing with these antiquity stones? So this might be kind of odd, but looking at your Celestials and your Hypos, they run 200. When you look at Naruko and some of these, they're 450. I don't even understand the logic behind that. And maybe I am totally missing something on why they would have different costs for different heroes. 450, 300, 200 in here. This is mind-boggling on why these Celestials and the Hypos would be so cheap. So literally, I could get double copies of the twins and still have resources left versus getting Walker or Rain. Maybe this is a joke that they're pulling in here, but that's kind of interesting. Now, of course, red chests are at 65. So even the emblem chests are more expensive. This seems like the cost of these are off because, again, 20 red chests where it's a lot more difficult to get the red chest as it sits today. But we don't have Eugene in here. This is kind of weird. This is really confusing me. And then again, tier 1 stones. Guys, don't get the tier stones. There's a lot of stuff in here. Don't get the weapons on the mythic variety chest because, again, you're going to get them in time. Even the primordial and the amplifying emblems. You want red chests, you want cores, you want baits. And then I don't know what's going on with the heroes. Let me know in the comments your feedback on these heroes in here. But that is kind of crazy. But overall, you go in here, you get your keys. You go ahead and do your summons. It'll give you the antiquity stones, and then essentially you'll be able to get everything out of every floor. Now, one thing to note, again, like we said about that 10th floor, is the 10th floor, you can actually pull all 3 loots. That is right. If you're going for cores and baits and the Stargazer scrolls, get all 3 loot when you get to floor 10, 20, 30, 40, 50, all the way up to whatever you go to. Make sure on your 10th floor, you are actually pulling all of the resources within there. You don't want to miss out on any of the resources. And then again, looking in here as you're making progression, seems like it's just going to be, and I don't know if that's floor 30. Again, this is kind of new during the event. Maybe the total number of keys. That's pretty cool. So when you get 30 keys, 60 or 50 keys, 70 keys. So this is going to be based on keys. And then of course, way down here, all of these are going to be keys if you're buying keys that they're going to be able to give you. Because of course, when you look mathematically at this, we have a total of 12 days of drops, 12 days times 30 keys a day. You're getting about the regular amount, which I believe is 420, just doing the rough math. Not even calculating out, but very cool. Mystic Star Zone, of course, coming back. And then I'm wondering if anything else is in here. We have the Vault of Time, which is going to be starting pretty soon. Then, of course, the new Abyssal is going to be up pretty soon. But overall, guys, very, very cool event. I love the Celestial Isles. Glad to see that Eugene is not in here, which means we're going to have to continue building them out from that guild store and also from the Temple Rift where we have them right now. All right, guys, that's going to do it for today's video. Let me know in the comments what you guys think. And as always, thank you guys for watching.